Alright, hello everyone, my name is Extraordinaire and welcome to Old World. It actually took a little bit to get this set up because the Epic Games launcher is slow. I hope it's not an indicator of how slow Old World is because I have had some problems with Old World in the past. However, I'll just stop talking and get straight to the point. I have experience with prior 4X games if this is your first time watching me. Like Civ 6, I have a lot of hours in that, but I have little experience with Old World, so I'll take time to learn the mechanics. I'll skip past that kind of stuff. I won't bore you with me learning to get the mechanics under control, but I'll just be giving my experience, giving my feedback, and should be fun. But if you can skip ahead to the gameplay, but we have Nebuchadnezzar here. I'm going with the Babylonians. We have a few choices though. I think the Babylonians are good for some generalist gameplay, and boy, is the music loud. Anyhow, I think the Babylonians are fairly good for generalist gameplay, so I have to show that off and kind of get that under control, and then I think I'll probably stick to medium map. Maybe I'll go for something like maybe a coastal rain bass, and that would be pretty interesting. However, I'll get straight to the gameplay, and I'll be playing on normal difficulty. I think this is normal, and see just how that goes. Alright, so here we are. We have not yet found our city of Babylon, but Babylonia is here. I've chosen the map disjunction because I do want to have some alteration. I found the seaside map setting just a little bit too dry. However, we are King Nebuchadnezzar. We have a very, very fertile, and it looks like a lush. I'm not going to jinx myself, hopefully not. Looks like we have a lush setting here. Yeah, we have rivers, we have some kind of marsh resource. I don't know if that's rice, and we just have a ton of forest, so I think this would be good for some kind of mason guild. Anyhow, Old World is unique in that it has preset city tiles. You're not going to be like Civ or Humankind for that matter, where you establish outposts before you settle down a city, where you can just freely pick your cities. You actually choose, or a city is chosen for you, and it's predestined. So a bit of a Calvinist view. However, I think it's probably a good idea to settle a city over here. Maybe over here. I do want to make use of some of these resources, so I don't want to settle too close to the city. Again, I don't have any seaside bonuses, so I also have some truffles or some kind of pigs. There we go. And then some kind of ore here. Just seems to be just ambiguous ore. So anyhow, we'll settle a city here. I think this is good. Just kind of everything is on our range, and so basically once we found this, we have 4 choices. We have different kind of nobles that'll sponsor our capital, and then once we've picked 3 of them, we'll lose the 4th one, so we do have to be a bit careful. Though I think we want to have something like mines and lumber mills. Look at all this forest. I think it'd be foolish not to go for some kind of mine and lumber mill bonus, especially since we have some ore over here. So let's just go ahead and get that. We could also choose hunters, though I think we only have the pigs, so only a pasture for them, not anything else. So I think just some kind of lumber mill wouldn't be too bad for the setup. So let's just found the artisans here, the Chaldeans, get that bonus to lumber mills, and we also gain a worker after founding the city. So it's very, very good. And then orders are also fairly important. I'll explain those later as far as I understand them. But also you can roll your techs too. You have a tech tree that you can you start out with, and then you get 3 techs initially rolled for you. And then I think it takes 1 turn to kind of re-roll them. But since we are kind of going for masonry, first off, let me just see here. Quarry. Let's go for stone cutting, and then we can go for masonry. So thankfully we rolled some good techs. And also workers, that's going to explain some things here. I've actually had, believe it or not, a bit of experience playing. I think like 5 or so hours just kind of testing out various setups. Anyhow, we have our workers here, and we get 2 of them, which is nice. 1 additional worker from the masonry setup, and I'm going to go and build a farm on this. I think it's a rice tile. Barley. Okay, so it's a barley tile, and then we're going to need to wait. I think this is outside my borders, but actually, I take that back. No, that is within our borders. So just within our borders, thankfully, we settled our city there, so that's not going to be a problem. But since we have these 2 resources here, we are going to build some. What is this? Interesting. We have some dyes on the coast, so it must be some kind of Murex clams or something. That's kind of cool, though those are massive. Jesus. Anyhow, I'm liking the map so far, and I think we're just going to build these improvements, kind of get things up and running as Babylon, and I'll kind of try to explain things as we go along. I guess I've been trying to do that so far, but I'm not exactly an expert on the game. Okay, so I think we can add a general here to improve our combat strength. Probably not a good idea, but since the city is going with the settler, I'm not going to stop that order. I think it's probably a good idea just to kind of go ahead, and then we've already found our first city site too. So you have to be a bit careful, and my PC is already killing itself. Okay. But let me just, I guess, skip in my year here. And basically, it's kind of like a mesh between CK3 and Civ. I know a lot of people have been making that comparisons, but it's not entirely too inaccurate. My hair is going to be Duke, Marduk, and I think he's already preset, but I'm going to basically have to raise and foster these two children. I may even get some more and then try to train them to be good stewards of the realm. And I need to use my scouts to explore the world, so I have to be careful. But also, one interesting system that separates the game apart from Civ 6 and Humankind, for that matter, 4X's of the same caliber, is that your units have initial base movement as far as I know, and then on top of that you have orders that you generate. So you want to, if you really want to explore the map, you need to generate a ton of orders, and you can build buildings, I think, and choose certain decisions to kind of do that. But, okay, and we can name even our own landmarks there. Okay, I'm not going to get too fancy, but if you really like to roleplay, Old World is definitely a good option. Though my one big problem, I guess, my son was ill. One of my big problems, I won't get into it too much, is that it is an Epic Game Store exclusive. I know they kind of help sponsor the game, but especially for people that have already started off with Steam or another game store like GOG, G-O-G, it can be pretty hard to just make the transfer over, especially since Epic isn't the best optimized store, and they don't have that many options as far, you know, as just my experience searching the store. But hopefully that changes. So we have a specialist. I haven't worked too much with specialists, so if you guys in the comment section have any tips for me, as far as I can tell, you kind of use your population and then you put it on a tile and you buff it with that specialist. Okay, this guy seems to be done. Right, he's done. This guy's still working on the mine, so I think mine's take longer to work. But anyhow, if you just go over to the tooltip, we have things like granaries and I think other improvements later on. And those will later buff adjacent improvements like farms. So for example, the granary will give my adjacent farms, like right here, you can see that buff there. It'll give it a brief buff of like plus 1.2 food, I believe. And then it also, I think, buffs something else. And that's really, really good just for getting your population up and food and everything, that little chain of command. So I think I'm not going to get into that right now. I could probably place you over there. Though that farm, what is our best farm option? Let me just move over here. It's not displaying it for me. Okay, 7.5 there. So that's probably a good option. I think they get a bonus for being next to rivers. That one's 8.5. I don't know if I'm going to chop the forest just yet. Let's go ahead and get a farm right here. That's not too bad since our worker isn't doing anything. And then you're building that mine. So yeah, workers function very similarly to Civ 5. I think you keep them for quite a while, but you have certain specialties. So I think I have like miners for one type, and then I think farmers are more efficient. I'm not too sure if there's like a specific distinction, but I'm pretty sure that there are like different branches of farmers and miners, though I might be wrong on that. Okay, we found some more cattle, pigs, horses. Very, very nice. And we have a city site right here. So probably a good idea to send our first scout down there. Thank you for tooltips. And if you are very, very new to the game, you can pause and just check out the tooltips, or I believe the devs have posted some guides on Reddit. So this is not our heir, it's Princess Kashaya. And one fun thing I found is that just sending them out to learn in the world gains us some pretty good science bonuses, since we can send like emissaries over there. And we also have our own trait. What is it? We can even abdicate. I think we have like very scientific or studious trait. Yeah, we're scholars, so we can basically benefit off of sending our heirs like to overseas or whatever. And then I just kind of found that out by experimenting. After that, we can like choose like scholarly decisions. Like I think one time my heir was out in India and they thought that there were giant ants, so I sent my scholars naturally to investigate. And to our dismay, there were not giant ants. Okay, she's wanton. Ugh. So she might be a bit of a whore. Okay. I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of IRL wanton people, but hopefully she doesn't go screwing any other men. Alright, let's go explore the hills. There we go. Okay, we have crabs. Not those kinds of crabs, but these kind of crabs you can eat. Alright, that wasn't a funny joke. Anyhow, it looks like we have some more resources, and one of the interesting things with Old World is that, yes, thank you, tutorial, you can move on to these resources and and harvest them temporarily. I think I want to keep these resources since I will be settling a city down here, but I will just skip over that. Okay, so our troops discover a towering wall depicting images and carvings belonging to an ancient civilization with an impeccable record of their laws. And Civ Old World is also very similar to Civ 5 and Civ 4 in that they have kept the events. So I think the dev, Soren Johnson, was also the dev of Civ 4. So there are definitely some cues from that game. However, advise, I command, bring the wall to Babylon. Okay, become steadfast. I'd actually like aristocracy, so let's go ahead and grab that. Free tax are always nice. Looks like we also have some marble too, so this is a very feature-rich area. Okay, we also have some incense. And you are out of moves. Yes, you are. I could force march, again, with this resource over here, though I don't think I want to do that just yet. They're already fatigued, and I'm not too much of a dictator just yet. Okay, so now that we've got that out of our way, we're not really building any urban districts. I think we may get to that later. So, let me just see. Let me see my tech tree. I think I want to get husbandry for the pigs to get up. So, do we have ironworking just yet? I don't think so. Let's go ahead and re-roll these, actually. I'll just show that off. And we can't redraw tax. I can only do that once per year. Interesting. And I could also research border growth. Well, if I can't do that, let's actually get iron working. There we go. And idle. Okay, so our first settler is out. Sorry if I seem to be speeding through things. Just trying to get on top of things because I'm a bit nervous. The AI can be a bit aggressive. We haven't met any of them just yet. But they can be a bit of a pain in the ass. Anyhow. Let's go ahead and send our settler. Here we go. I think it's fine to send them over here. And basically, I don't think settlers take populations, but they do slow city growth. So you have to be careful about that. I also have to say, I really do like the city layout here. Very, very good job for the devs on kind of capturing that Middle Eastern aesthetic. Okay. Let's go ahead and get a slinger for some more defense. We only have one warrior, I think. So we have to be just a bit careful. Our second city, thank you. We have to be very careful with our, okay, thank you. We have to be very careful with our clans and whatnot. Okay, the Ants Gold. All Babylon is enraptured with tales of Kashaya's exploits in India, land of the Ants Gold. Okay, I actually just got this event in my last episode, or whatever, not last episode, off screen. Anyhow, so this is actually very relevant. Thanks to game for or RNGesus for queuing this up. Anyhow, since I am a I am a scholar. I am inquisitive, kind of like CK2 and CK3 and their traits and how they like kind of parallel into events and give people more options. I can go ahead and send my scholars over here and study the supposed giant ants. So maybe we'll get some giant ants. Who knows? But we also have some ambassadors. Interesting. So since we have an available candidate, I think I'll just go ahead and appoint her since she's available. And she's not really doing anything, though she is wanton. So hopefully she doesn't sleep with any of the foreign diplomats. Okay, I already know about trees. Why are you telling me now? But I think they do grant some production, so I have to be careful with that. So we do have an interesting little mountain range here. I do like the terrain much more than some of the drier starts I was getting with Seaside. So I'll keep that in mind. We have another city tile here. And so far we haven't found any barbarians. Very, very interesting. Next unit. Explore down here. And we do have some desert. And I think this is saffron or sorghum. Okay. And move you down here. And actually we've met the Gauls. I met them several times. It looks like they're inhabiting this little city tile down here. And is this floodplains? No, it's just flat river. Interesting. Arid, flat, and clear. I don't know if floodplains are actually in this game. Okay, epics or exploration. And we're going to basically choose whether we want epics or exploration. Let's go ahead and get exploration. This is triggered by us having, having had 400 hammers or civics. And we've just spent that to kind of allow our scouts to embark on the sea, which is going to be very, very nice. Okay, now that we have our settler down here, I think we'll just go ahead and settle on the city site here. And what do we want? We're not going to want to found the artisans just yet. Though we do have some very, very juicy locations here with the stone. Ooh, I am tempted. Ooh. You know what? Since the artisans would be pretty good here, and I don't want to piss anyone off, it might be a better idea just to send this guy down over here. And okay, I don't want to force you just yet. Okay, anyhow, you finished your farm here, so I'll get back to that really quickly. Let's move you over here, and then we can do stuff with you after ironworking. Anyhow, Let me move you back here, and then I'll get over to that. Sorry for cutting away. Okay, excuse me. Explore that, explore that. We have some camels, too. Interesting. I have not seen them before. Carouslinger is kind of slow. Next unit. Explore that. Interesting. So, Prince of Hindustan. She's going to want to stay with him, I believe. So basically, she's encountered a foreign prince and she wants to meet him. So I don't really care. You're not my heir. And then you'll get some positive traits. So perhaps if she wants to come back, she'll be useful in our court. So we're going to get some science from that. So she is exotic. Very interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and get a quarry here. Not a bad idea. Right? Let's just see here. Quarry, +5. Not too bad. Any good forts? We don't really need forts at the moment. Though I do have to say, a farm there would be pretty good. Interesting. I think I'll probably just put you to sleep right now. I don't really think I need him to do anything, though. I guess we'll position you over here, and then we can probably put this guy down over here since there's no nearby barbarians. Let me go ahead and put you over to here in this tile, and we'll probably use him as like a trader. And then we can hit to next unit. So, granary here. I'll just put you to sleep. There you go. And then move you over here. Over there, over here. And we found another city site. Interesting. And these guys shouldn't attack us because they are friendly. There are some hostile barbarians, but usually you at least have one friendly barbarian. So we can actually even get a tribal alliance, though we do need some military tactics here. So interesting. We do need some more orders. So I can consider that. And then they'll also send alliances too. And I think you can even civilize the barbarians. So let me redraw these cards. I think I wanted husbandry, so not too good here. Let me just redraw these cards. There it is. Okay. So I redrew them, I think. And you're going to settle here. And that'll get us the camels. That'll get us everything good without actually touching the desert. So I think I'm fine with that. So let's found the trading city site here. And we have hamlets. We can kind of improve our low yield tiles. And then the trade routes will benefit from being on the coastal tiles, I believe. Okay, and what is this? +1 science, acquire random tech. So this is kind of a generalist. Let's go ahead and get the trader seat here. And we've also gained a new tech. So actually, I take that back. We got a new guy, though. Okay, a merchant. So now that we have this new city, we can actually go ahead and build a caravan with them. So let's go here and start making use of our next unit, use of our next technology. I think also I want to get someone over here to the crabs. Once we can get some kind of sailing. And next unit. Explore here. The Gauls also seem to have another settlement over here. Interesting. Very, very curious. So I think, do we still have some orders to kind of make a peace deal with them? No, but we can influence them. So since they have so many strongholds over here, I think that's a good idea. We might put some space between them and our next neighbor. So let's go ahead and influence them if we can. There we go. Next unit. Go ahead over here. And thankfully they are friendly. They're not chewing our face off just yet. Okay, I already chose animal husbandry. Okay, that's kind of weird. I don't know if that's a glitch. I don't know if there's some kind of problem, but ambition. Let's go for control 4 cities, but basically, I'm not killing anyone just yet, but we have ambition, so we can choose what we want to go after. Very, very basic at first, but I think later on it starts to develop into things like influencing foreign neighbors and whatnot. But since we've already founded 2 cities, let's go for control 4 cities. I don't want to really kill barbarians just yet, so they seem to be friendly so far. Okay, is this the map border? It is. Interesting. Very interesting. So I hope we at least have some kind of neighbor, or else this could be a very, very boring first game. Okay, Vale of whatever. Thank you. And we found another city site. Okay, next unit. Okay, that is a very small city site, though. So yeah, some city sites will be smaller than others I found. We got a fairly decent... Ooh, she's a commander. Interesting. So yeah, okay, we can build our nets first. There we go. But some city sites are bigger than others. We got like a 5-tile city site, or maybe even more. we got a 6-tile city site for our capital, so fortunate to be blessed with that. Some are smaller like this one in Marad, and then some are super small like this one. There could be some more city sites over here, but like this one over to the east of us. So it's just kind of the cards that you're dealt with. Okay, and we can't embark just yet. So I guess we'll just kind of cap this off and explore the territory over here. Okay, see if there's anyone else. Okay, we found Condil Mountains. And we also found a ruin. So Sacred Tomb. Our expedition approaches an ancient monument. The structure appears to be the tomb of a great leader. Do we want to do any sacrilege or necromancy? Probably not a good idea. We could become gracious. Ooh. I think we're fine for civic points. Let's just go ahead and study their rituals. Yeah, get us ahead on husbandry right there. Very, very nice. Okay, you're out of turns. And we don't really need the food. So I think roads would be good for boost our trade, or maybe music. What is our current tech situation looking like? Divination could also be good. Let me just see if we can research that real quick. Polis spoke real monasticism, so we redrew. We did not get divination. I guess we could go straight for a religion with monasticism. So that's 17 years, though. Let me redraw. Is this any shorter? 5 years. Okay, we'll go for Odeon. I do not want to wait 17 years for religion. Okay, and we can tutor our guy over here, kind of similar to CK3 again, or Crusader Kings in general. We can tutor our heir and decide what he would be good in. Now, right now, he's kind of a blank slate, though. I don't want to send him out in the world. He could die, and he's our only male heir. So, let's go for wisdom. We are scientific, and I think we will tutor him. So that's not a bad idea. Okay, you're building that. You're exploring. I'm showing off these nasty clouds. Though they are kind of pretty. But the terrain is just kind of nasty. Alright, so our slinger is here. Let's just fortify. Kind of keeping him on standby. We can even appoint, excuse me, a commander. So, I think our daughter is pretty good. There we go. And she is in a distant land, so she's going to buff us by 20%. And then we also get bonuses from being in trees, and then bonuses from being infantry in urban areas. So, let's go ahead and sleep you if we can. There we go. And then, where's our next unit? Okay, you're still here over the hills. I'm praying we at least have some kind of enemy. We have some barbarians there, but I haven't found any foreign AI just yet. So we do have some sizable landmass to the east, though. Okay, let's go ahead and... we can go for some civics. I guess we'll go for one civic and then kind of branch off into another settler. What are we low on right now? We are kind of sparse for money. Orders are doing okay. Science is doing okay. Stone is kind of on the low end right here. So we got to be careful with that, though. This is going to cost 4 stone anyway. Let's go ahead and buffer inquiry right now. There we go. Marriage offer. So a marriage proposal has arrived from the Eason family, which we built a city for. Okay, he wants to marry my daughter, and I think I've even recently got this guy to the court, so that's fine. We'll get an alliance right there. End our year. Don't really care about his personality traits, just kind of trying to kiss ass. All right, we have a request for tools. A letter arrives from Duke Marduk Nadine Ahi, describing his classes, hours spent learning, stimulating debates among peers and tutors, with the night spent exploring the heavens. At the end of the letter, a postscript reads, "If you could spare the money, I would like to buy some tools for the more advanced aspects of my studies." Hopefully it's not anything degenerate. I don't know what kind of studies he's doing, though. I've had my heir do some kind of weird monkey crap. I don't know, he had like a pet monkey, and I was like, no, you cannot have your pet monkey. That's going to distract you from your homework. So I'm just being a loving father here. But this would grant him some interesting traits. And we have the money to spare, don't we? Yeah, we have 409. We're not really spending our cash on anything. And he's become educated. So he gets +2 wisdom, I believe. And then it affects his strength. So not too bad. Not too bad there, buddy. Alright, Spring Equinox, a little religious event here. It is spring and the tender flowers are in bloom, painting the land in vivid pastels. Your family and members of the court have gathered to celebrate the Spring Equinox, a time when light and darkness are in balance and hope permeates the air. Not for long. Yeah, I could enact tyranny. So this is basically kind of a goal we'd be setting for ourselves. Let's go for a constitution. We haven't really codified our laws just yet, so I think that's probably a good idea. And then keep exploring here. Get these nasty clouds out of the way. And I think we're kind of done. We have our scout exploring to the east. This is kind of the end of the landmass right here. So let's go ahead and just fortify you back over here, and that should be fine. And you're building your caravan. Okay, so things are looking up. Though I could be jinxing myself. Who knows? Okay, speaking of which, I probably did jinx myself because it looks like this is the end of the continent. Interesting. So let's keep moving you. Okay, we just got hit. And my daughter's become an expert tracker. Though she has lost some wisdom. So let's move you over here. I do not like combat in this game because you can kind of get locked into things. We've met the Scythians. Okay, we'll go for a truce. Anyhow, those are just regular barbarians, so I think they can, yeah, Scythians right there. So anyhow, we've met the end of our landmass, and I do not like combat in this game. It can kind of be a bit bothersome. So let's just move over here. Go for our next unit. Position our slinger. You can defend yourself. Just go to sleep. In case any nasty barbarians show up on our doorstep to rape and loot us. And apparently my daughter is greedy now. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, astronomy has been practiced in Babylonia since the days of your ancestors. True. And then my son has been studying the stars and comes to you in excitement, claiming to have predicted a rare eclipse of the sun. So apparently our money was not spent on some frat party. This doesn't align with the existing calendars, and once your scholars checked, they find an error in the current calendar system. Ah, interesting. Apparently my spawn is not completely useless. All right. So, plus 120 civics. Praises work. 120. Okay, I could estrange my son. Probably a better idea, though. I don't know if I want to give him too much power all at once. Get him high as a kite. Let's go ahead and get the 120 civic points. Thank you, son. And then you have succession. Interesting, we have a new heir. What is that? No, I'm pretty sure my heir is my son. I don't think it works that way, buddy. Okay, let's go for our next unit anyhow, unless I'm misunderstanding things. Anyhow, go over to these crabs, build some nets, and I think this is my current heir. Because I don't have, he's first in line, right? How is she my heir? I did not set females to inherit. Now that is weird. That is very, very weird. I'm going to choose you to be my heir. Yeah. There you go. That is very, very weird. I set it to agnatic. Anyhow, caravan units. We have some caravan units here. And you are going to be chosen. Sorry about that, but you are kind of foolish. So, let's go ahead and send you... Don't mean to diss on my daughter, but apparently she's made some bad decisions. Okay, let's go to you here. Hopefully the Scythians are amiable. Go over here. Choose production. Now that we've built our caravan. And since you're kind of a mercantile city, I don't think it'd be a bad idea to go for a treasury here. Get some investments going. Okay, she's not my heir. This guy is my heir. So, let's send you... Can we send you to the main city, or is that too far away? I don't know if we can just yet. I think the trade route would show up. So let's sleep you for just a while. End our turn. And then next we'll have our settler over in the city site over there. Okay, we have a polis, roads. Let me see the tech tree real quick. We have husbandry, labor force. I did mean to build some kind of pasture for the pigs. So I think labor force is probably a good idea. Let's go over here, build that pasture, buddy. And here you go. Wonderful. Just for our little pigs. Okay, so you're over here with the Scythians being pretty chill. We found the Taygetos Mountains. Okay, we're over here. And I don't know if I'll find any... Yeah, looks like I'm pretty lonely on this continent. So, very, very interesting. Anyhow, we have centralization or vassalage. Nobles in the court insist that we clarify our stance on administration. Do we support policies of centralization or vassalage? Let's go for centralization. I don't want to have vassals. That could kind of be a mess. And we're not going to only have vassals. We're just one solid state. We're not dealing with any foreign empires just yet. So let's enter year. And we also want to make sure we have a cap on luxuries, because I believe it kind of has some similar features, old world, in that luxuries can kind of affect how quickly your cities grow. So I want to have a cap on that before I spam cities across the continent. Okay. Apparently, he can get a mentor. So, intelligent, inspiring, eloquent, or insane. 3 out of 4. Not a bad idea. Inspiring. Okay, so he's not a nutcase like me just yet. Alright, not bad. Our son is very promising, so hopefully he doesn't die in some bizarre hunting accident. Alright, and the music is kicking in since we have research drama. Very nice touch. Okay, let's go ahead and get another settler like I promised. There we go. And it also requires some food to build that. Okay, we can't embark or disembark on the sea just yet, can we? No. Let's just put you out auto-explore if we can. We cannot, I don't think. Well, in that case, what else do we have not explored? Maybe this territory over here. I'll just queue you to set up over there and then see if we can at least make a breakthrough, though I'm not too hopeful. Okay, and we've developed our culture too. Interesting. And now we have a new worker. So we didn't really need a worker, but I guess I'll take this blessing. It is what it is. We could build an Odeon, and that is an urban improvement, enables poets, theaters, and then we also get plus 20% per adjacent hamlet. I don't think these are hamlets, though. No, it's just urban tile space. So I will have to be mindful of that. Though, we could probably build something like an Odeon out here. See how that goes. So anyhow, philosophy studies event. Now that you've come of age, you have a very disgusting beard. I do not approve of that. Let's go for a zealot. I don't think tactician fits him too well. And that serves as general chancellor. And then you have some pretty good science, don't you? Wait. Okay, this is actually take away from his science. So let's go for tactician then. And then you're sleeping. Wise outlook. Provide us with wisdom. Control 6 archives. Let's let him choose his own path. I won't be too demanding. We already have our own ambitions, so I don't want to get too out of ourselves. Just for the lulz, we'll build an Odeon there, see how that goes, improve our city, and then you can probably surround it with some hamlets from the cleared forest right there. Alright, so hamlet, what does this do exactly? Okay, so it's an urban improvement. And then it buffs and develops into villages too. Let's go for divination. We've kind of been putting off religion for now, since kind of ironic since we are very scholarly. So interesting to see where this goes. I guess I'll put this guy in sleep mode too. Go to the next unit. Okay, you built your crabs. Let's go ahead and develop these camels over here. What do we want to farm? We want some kind of pasture or camp, right? Okay, this is getting buffed from the camels, I think. So let's go for the camp. A camel camp. And we have a new marriage offer, I think probably from the Scythians. Okay, man, that guy is fast. Okay, so apparently you want to marry my son. She's witty. And she's a schemer. Since it's from the Scythians and we're being friendly to the barbarians, I'm fine with that. Okay, now developing cultural level, various options. Okay, and since we've developed our cultural level, we can speed up lulz. So that is interesting. Tutorial influence. Okay, we can go on influence missions too to set our chancellors. We've already kind of talked about this. Influence Tarsus, the Scythians. Let me work my wits. Okay, I'll start that for the Scythians. The Scythians, I'll start working on them. And then, apparently my daughter has a new ambition. Okay, a ruler needs his left. I'm not going to cheat on my wife. Though we can't build roads, so let me just start doing that right now, actually. Build a road, and then we can kind of build a road to, I think, to our city right there. So not a bad idea. Okay, and you built your markets. So then I think some kind of forum is not a bad idea. Okay, we haven't built our, used our caravan. Hopefully we can try to get something done. Okay, you're still not able to trade. Unless I'm doing something wrong. Okay, are you building a road? No, you're not. You're on cooldown. Let me send you over here. Ooh, and there is a passage. Though it's probably going to be the coast. Yeah, it is. Unfortunate. Ugh. Okay, we've raised our influence about the Scythians. There we go. Let's go for... We've been putting some of these off. Probably should go for a wheel. We're building roads, but we don't even have wheels yet. Okay, there are some crabs over there. But we are completely isolated on this island. So an interesting start, to say the least. But anyhow, this has been Old World. If you guys want to see more, this is going to be a pretty isolated start. I just wanted to show off some of the mechanics, some of the buildings. The early game, not too exciting, but I love the artwork and kind of setting things up. And then you can kind of go on from there. I hear the mid-game is kind of its strong suit. So if you guys like this little demo, this first try, let me know by leaving a like and subscribing. Otherwise, this has been 4 Extraordinaire, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. All right, peace.